Many of you are aware of the fact that the new AI can actually copy your voice, right? You can get someone's voice, Obama and Putin, people have seen those videos. What they may not know is it only takes 3 seconds of your voice to reconstruct it. So here's a demo of the first 3 seconds are of a real person speaking, even though she sounds a little bit metallic. The rest is just what the computer automatically generated.
Of people are,
real.
in 9 cases out of 10, mere spectacle reflections of the actuality of things. But they are impressions of something different and more.
Here's another one with piano. The first 3 seconds are real piano. Fake. Indistinguishable, right? So the first 3 seconds are real piano, the rest is just automatically generating.
That's incredible, and exactly what we are going to talk about today. AI voice cloning has advanced to a point where your voice can be nearly perfectly replicated and stolen with just 3 seconds of data. This breakthrough technology will no doubt be used for nefarious purposes.
Now, one of the things I want to say is, as we saw these first demos, we sat and thought, like, how is this going to be used? We're like, oh, you know what would be terrifying is if someone were to call up, your son or your daughter and get a couple seconds, hey, oh, I'm sorry, I got the wrong number, grab their voice, then turn around and call you and be like, hey, Dad, hey, Mom, I forgot my social security number, I'm applying for this thing. What was it again? And we're like, that's scary.
We thought about that conceptually, and then this actually happened.
Exactly, and this happens more and more, that we will think of something, and then we'll look in the news, and within a week or 2 weeks, there it is. So this is that exact thing happening. And then 1 month ago, an AI cloned teen's girl voice in a $1 million kidnapping scam.
It's a phone call John Bridges will never forget.
I said, what's wrong? What's wrong? She goes, I've had an accident, and I need your help.
His daughter panicked and crying before another voice gets on the line.
He goes, I'm wanting to give your daughter back to you, but I need some cash.
Bridges says he didn't end up giving money to the scammer thanks to his quick-thinking wife, who called their actual daughter to confirm she wasn't being held hostage. But he got close, even grabbing cash from home and driving it to a meetup location.
When I first heard my daughter's voice, it was my daughter's voice. It convinced me that that was her.
Calls like this have the Federal Trade Commission sounding the alarm this month, warning of advancing artificial intelligence used to simulate someone's voice in imposter scams, the most commonly reported fraud in 2022, with losses jumping to $2.6 billion last year.
This technology is brand new and is already being used, as evident from the news clippings, as well as the NBC News segment. This is just the beginning, but what happens if this technology is used on a much larger scale?
Meanwhile, the Kremlin is deploying a new weapon in the war on Ukraine: deep fake videos. This one purports to show Ukraine's heroic President Zelensky supposedly telling his soldiers to surrender and give up your arms. But no one was fooled by such an obvious fake. Here it is side by side with the real Zelensky, who's been praised around the world for his bold leadership and refusal to abandon Kyiv. Sam Gregory is an expert on deep fakes.
The man's body doesn't look like Zelensky, his neck doesn't look like Zelensky, his voice doesn't sound like Zelensky, and his face just looks kind of odd. But these kinds of deepfakes can fool people.
President Zelensky responded quickly to the deepfake video, telling his people there will be no surrender. The only ones who should give up arms are Russian soldiers.
The attempt was there, but the execution was terrible. I could have done a better job with a free app on my phone. Even though it was terribly attempted, it was an attempt by the Russians to deep-fake Volodymyr Zelensky's voice and face and tell his people to lay down their arms. With this breakthrough technology advancing so rapidly, the next attempt by a foreign adversary to fool a country might not be so obvious. This wasn't a conspiracy video because the conspiracies haven't happened just yet, but this technology will no doubt create unlimited future conspiracies.